Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Da Mafia Live. That is right, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST and also at 5:15 p.m. EST. You can find me right here on this damn channel, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. All right, listen, we have a little bit to talk about today. A final practice update, the final injury report. Have no fear, we are going through each and every single one of those notions that have surrounded the Buffalo Bills already. Shout out to everybody that was in the morning stream. Shout out to everybody that is my afternoon streams. Shout out to the everydayers. Shout out to the day one. Shout out to the newbies. All right, listen, we have welcomed, I would say, close to about 3,400 new subscribers for the month of October into November already. So as many of you guys know, we have a pretty lofty goal here. We want 50,000 subscribers prior to the end of the regular season. Genuinely believe that we can get that done, okay? Because if you were to ask me that we would have reached 30,000 before week 10, I would have called you crazy. I was just manifesting it. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a stream. A reminder, that beautiful signed James Cook jersey could be yours. It could be yours, folks. All I need you to do is just go on ahead and subscribe to the channel to be a part of these giveaways for the remainder of the season. I have a litany of Buffalo Bills signed memorabilia that I cannot wait to give to one of you lucky winners. I have TD is calling me. I'm going to have to text him. I'm live, my friend. I'm live, TD Finstock. I'm live. I'm live. Let me know, though, because we'll fire off a PayPal. Cool. Bang, bang, man. Running the business is not easy. Do me a favor. Smash that like button and roll call in the chat right now. Let me know what team you are currently representing. Let me know where you are tuning in from. More importantly, man, happy Friday. The weekend is upon us. Things are absolutely immaculate over here from where I stand, folks. Let's go ahead and double check what is going on with the Buffalo Bills world right over here. Specifically starting with the injury report, which I know that we ended up talking about it earlier this morning. No surprise here, folks. However, we are going to be without Keon Coleman on Sunday, and Amari Cooper tends to be questionable at this point. We have the injury report staring right in our face right now. Let's go ahead and check out some things. What's up? We have Dan the Man in the chat. We have Chris. He's rolling on in. He's saying, Dan the Man with some flexing emojis. I can definitely appreciate that. Guys, do me a favor. Roll call in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Always like to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. What is up, Dan? It's Steve. Go Bills. Are you more focused on this week or next week? Listen, man, I have always been the person that likes looking at what game is in front of us. Like, that's why it's so frustrating, especially when I end up getting into conversations with people and they're just like, oh man, well, like, look what happens at the playoffs. Why don't you talk to me when we get to the playoffs? And at that point, it doesn't serve anybody, right? It doesn't serve to look forward and ahead of the game that is in front of us, because like there has been several games in this history where we have overlooked a team as a fan base. I highly doubt that the Buffalo Bills are overlooking a team from a professional standard or a professional perspective. But yeah, I mean, really long-winded answer to your question is that I'm just looking at the Indianapolis Colts, and we will worry specifically about the we will worry about the Chiefs when it ends up coming into it. Buffalo, New York, LFG. Let's make it happen. We have Saludos is in the chat. Edgar Vasquez, come on in. What's up, baby? How you doing, man? How you doing? Buffalo, New York, and you know who I cheer for already. Jason, what is going on, man? How you doing? How you doing? Every team has injuries. Stop complaining, everybody. We have Buffalo represent in Japan. My guy from Japan is in the chat once again. He is our afternoon stream guy that likes to come in. And I'm glad that it's a bit earlier in the morning for you, my friend, because last time, I think when I was live a bit earlier in the afternoon yesterday, when we were doing our Bills Colts preview, you said it was 4 a.m. in the morning. So I'm certainly glad that this is at least a bit more reasonable of an hour for you to join us today. We have Geneva, New York, man. We have Geneva, New York. We have Joshua right here. What's up, Dan? Josh here. If Josh throws 2 touchdowns, I cash in $580 on Prize Picks. Only 2 touchdowns. Okay, so I'm assuming you must have had a parlay with last night's game as well, which is absolutely insane. Cindy Jackson is in the chat. We have California in the chat as well. We have Tyler H. I think Cooper plays on Sunday. Same with Curtis Samuel. And they only brought one receiver from the practice squad. That is also some breaking news that ended up coming out. We ended up elevating our guy, Jalen Virgil, to the roster. Now, he has been activated in the past. He is literally our glorified motion guy, okay? I don't think he has had a single target when he was elevated from the squad by itself. However, this dude indeed is going to be elevated, and hence it is also going to put down all of the rumors that we were looking at Yannick Ngakoue, or we were looking at some other sort of free agent to bring in on the roster. This was exclusively because Sean McDermott knew precisely that we were going to be without Keon Coleman probably days ago. Oh, shit. Anyway, what's going on, man? Colts by 13. Joe Wrist, guys. Call me Mr. Wrists for the rest of the chat. Hope y'all are having a good day. Keep up your good energy, and we can get healthy. I mean, listen. Every team on the face of the planet, and I saw somebody in the chat a bit earlier end up saying this. And folks, yes, I understand it sucks that Keon Coleman is out. But honestly, I feel like we should be celebrating because, like, listen, I am seeing a lot of names in this chat right now. I am seeing a lot of names in this chat right now that were not happy about Keon Coleman. And they wanted A.D. Mitchell instead. How's A.D. Mitchell doing? That's what I'm talking about. It sucks that Keon Coleman is gone, right? All we have to hope is that Amari Cooper is fine. But if not, again, as I've attempted to reiterate over and over and over again, this Colts team is an absolute wet dream for any offense that likes to run the football. And the Buffalo Bills love to run the football on this team. But right now, this Colts team is allowing, I think it was like 156 to 160 yards per game. That is 31st in the NFL. So this is a James Cook game. This is a Ray Davis game. And of course, we still have Khalil Shakir. We still have Dalton Kincaid. I feel like we will be okay. There is no excuse. I do not care. I do not care, ladies and gentlemen, if we have any of these injuries staring us in the face at this point. We really can't have any excuses, especially against this Colts team, because quite frankly, we are just a better team, and we should take full advantage of it. I really like a Shakir breakout game. I put him on my fantasy this week, and I can't afford to lose. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Last week, he broke over 100 yards. So against the Miami Dolphins, about 106, which is ideal. So hopefully we can see the exact same thing, even with Keon Coleman and with Amari Cooper, like not really out there. Well, I mean, obviously with Keon, he obviously did not get hurt until the end of the game. Thank you so much, Jordan Poyer. I appreciate that. But is what it is. Should I start Cooper, Shakir, or Marvin Harrison? I'll tell you what, Moshe, it's tough, man. Listen, I'd probably go Shakir on this one. Just because even if Amari Cooper is out there, he still obviously is not at 100%. So I would imagine that his snap count would be low, and he ultimately would be like a distraction. So I'd probably end up going with Shakir, although that I really, really, really like, man. I really like the matchup that the Colts are going to be putting on Khalil Shakir. His name is Kenny something, but he's a slept-on slot corner. He's very, very good. So maybe Marvin Harrison Jr., actually. Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the good option. I thought you should have gone with Ladd McConkey. He was one of my personal favorites in the draft. But listen, I'm fine with Keon Coleman. He's been an absolute dog. Curtis Samuel, 2-touchdown game. Man, I've been trying to call a Curtis Samuel breakout game for about 9 weeks so far. I will believe it when I see it at that point. But it is nice that Curtis Samuel, all right, folks, he is still limited, but it appears that he is good to go, even with his pectoral. So maybe this is a game where Curtis Samuel finally ends up earning his keep around Buffalo. Wouldn't that be fun? Jason was watching his highlights at App State. Good kick returner, can run the catch with the ball, has elusive speed. We have Moshe Hadjamar. My guy, I am talking about Jamar Chase last night. Kind of a breakout game. Hey, listen. To say that Shakir goes off for 250 or 260 yards and like 2 touchdowns, that would absolutely be insane. But again, I think I'm probably going to reiterate that I'm really feeling right now that this is going to be a let James Cook sort of game, or a Ray Davis absolutely burning people with swing passes, making people miss, running them over, whatever you really can do at the end of the day. Shakir, definitely. We have Victor in the chat saying, I like to see the Bills do some 2-back sets with Cook and Davis. Interesting, man. Interesting. Make it happen. Brady. And listen, I feel like we need to have a conversation about Joe Brady. I'm not entirely convinced that he's going to be the offensive coordinator next year. I'm not entirely convinced he's going to be the offensive coordinator this year. Not because I see him being fired, but actually the complete opposite. I think Joe Brady, and this is a hot take, and I hate to be a doomer here, and I hate to put this out in the universe, and I genuinely hope, I sincerely hope that I am incorrect, but I honestly think that Joe Brady is going to have a couple of head coaching interviews at the very least this offseason. And I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if he gets one this season. Why, Dad? Jason's like, why wouldn't he be the offensive coordinator? He's been doing good, man. He's been doing really good. Like, look so far at Brady's resume, right? Look at Joe Brady's resume so far. He ended up taking over from a Ken Dorsey offense, and then he ended up leading the Buffalo Bills on a massive win streak to ultimately steal the division from the Miami Dolphins. This year, he has led a team to a 7-2 record where the vast majority of the games were scoring over 30 points. A lot of the times where he is completely defeating all of the narratives that the Buffalo Bills just didn't have any weapons. Josh Allen has only thrown 2 interceptions this year. Unfortunately, that's a hell of a resume, my friends. That is a hell of a resume. So, as much as I hate to say this, as much as I absolutely hate to say this, folks, appreciate Joe Brady for now. Appreciate him. Because I have a funny feeling that our good friend may or may not be a head coach for another organization next year. Let's hope that's not the case, but I think that's going to happen. Brady to the Saints would be good. He's a young guy, man. He's a young guy. What's up, Dan? Go Bills. Cameron, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Community, Josh, this game, tell something, me here, go. Edgar, what's up, dude? Josh, this game, tell me something, here, go. My man. Hate it when Dan is always right. Jason, I know, man. Listen, it's tough always being right. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. This week, Mac Hollins game, that would be absolutely hysterical. Again, see, I see us making some pretty solid plays right in the pass game. But again, I really think it's going to be a ground and pound sort of thing. And I really think that our defense, surprisingly enough, is going to do relatively well against this Indianapolis Colts-led team by Joe Flacco. And, of course, John. And so with Taylor as well, because I'm really feeling that we're going to be adopting a very similar game plan that we put into place against the Seattle Seahawks. Now that we have Christian Benford back, now that Michael Pittman is gone, I think that we'll be able to commit to the run. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I trust Benford and I trust Rasul Douglas and I trust Taron Johnson against Downs, of course, against A.D. Mitchell, and of course, against all of their other wide receivers on the squad by itself. And funny enough, like, this is super ironic, but for some reason, when Joe Flacco has been quarterback for the Colts, Taylor's overall attempts have completely disappeared. It's wild. It's wild. Like, they don't use Taylor when Joe Flacco is out there. I don't know what it is, but it's very difficult to predict what their offensive attack plan is going to be because Pittman is out now. So what's that going to look like? Brady can be the head coach for the Bills. I still like McDermott, Gabriel, LFG. We have Edgar coming in saying, what do I need, bro? Dan is always right. Don't get me started. Hey, brother. Hey, man. 60% of the time, I'm right every time, baby. Who do I move on from? Kincaid, Shakir, or Coop? He's talking about in a fantasy league. Damn, man. Listen, I'm afraid that I'm going to give you the wrong answer here. And like, you're going to be like rolling back up in here in a couple of months. Be like, damn, what are you talking about? So-and-so went off for like 50 points. And so does it have to be those three? And so is there anybody else on the roster that you could potentially walk away from? What's good, Dan? Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? The Billin. What is going on, the Billin? All right, man. Right now, we're basically just reacting right to this final injury report, and we are discussing a lot of strategy what to expect from the Indianapolis Colts because they're certainly backwards, right? Of course, we remember when Jonathan Taylor gashed us a couple of years ago, but then now that Joe Flacco is starting, now that Michael Pittman is gone, what are they going to do? Are they going to really lean into Jonathan Taylor? Although the stats suggest that he's not used when Joe Flacco is the QB, is Michael Pittman being gone going to end up reverting their overall strategy? I feel actually very confident against Jonathan Taylor because I think that we are going to be able to commit to the run now that we trust our corners on the perimeter. Like now that we have Benford back, he is a backbone of this defense. Benford being out in the field, a healthy secondary for the Buffalo Bills and a healthy linebacker squad is the only way that this team can commit to the run. It's basically how it is. That is the only time this team can commit to the run. And we do a hell of a job when we do so as well. Tyler H is saying, I have a feeling this will be a game where we get zero pressure on Flacco, but we stone the run and pick off Flacco 3 times because our DBs are in the right spot. Tyler H, speak it into existence. My friend. Yo, Edgar, what are you saying? I have no idea what my boy is saying, but he's coming in here. He's speaking them facts, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We have Devontae Mott. Like Ben Johnson, Brady is an elite offensive coordinator, but even though they will be good head coaches, I don't think they want to be in charge. I think they're perfectly fine being the vice president. I mean, listen, I'm fine with manifesting that, and I sincerely hope that you are correct, but he's going to be getting attention. Teams will without a doubt want an interview with him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 2 interviews, bare minimum, this offseason because his resume has been absolutely insane. We have Greg in the chat saying, what's up, Dano? Spectre is always injured, gets hurt in a stiff wind, shaking my head. Listen, I'll be honest with you, it's really not even a bad thing because he has been playing horribly this year. He has been an absolute liability out there. We better wrap Bernard in bubble wrap for the remainder of the season. If we lose Bernard for the playoffs, your boy's going to crash out. And in fact, so I was even having this conversation with my buddy the other day, and we were saying, Dan Mitchell, who do you blame for the Buffalo Bills losing in the playoffs last year? Was it Tyler Bass? I said no. Sean McDermott? I said no. You know who I blame for the Buffalo Bills losing in the playoffs last year against the Kansas City Chiefs? The Pittsburgh Steelers. I do. Why do I blame the Pittsburgh Steelers for us losing to the Kansas City Chiefs last year in the playoffs? It's because they ended up taking out Bernard, and they also ended up taking out Rasul Douglas for that game. We have to stay healthy. That's why I'm hoping, for the love of all that is holy, that we are going through this injury bug right now, and we just get super lucky when it comes into the playoffs. Like, we have a full bill of health going into the playoffs, and everybody we lose is like a non-integral piece. Please, please, please give me health for the playoffs. I'm fine with this little list that we're looking at right now, but for the love of God, let's make sure that this injury bug only remains in the offseason. I think that's the biggest thing that I could be looking for right now. Alex Smith, let's go Buffalo. Yes, sir. How you doing? We'll have to be after this season to trade Elam, especially since he was injured. I mean, hey, he's good. He's able to play. Okay, I can see Buffalo Joe taking Spector's job. He reminds me of a young Milano. I mean, listen, he's been playing very well on special teams, which is ideal. So that's probably half the reason why I think he ended up making the squad. That, and of course, with Milano being injured. And so according to Kevin, who rolled in here last night, he also said that although he's had limited snaps, really hasn't had like a big sample size of actual like real football in the regular season. He's been okay in coverage. So, yeah, Buffalo Joe. Can he actually make a name for himself out here? Why did we do the direct snap to Damar Hamlin in the playoffs? I feel like a lot of people are not over that. And I feel like that's half the reason why everyone hates Damar Hamlin. Like, so really, although that he's been playing a lot better than people want to give him credit for, is any wide receiver coming out from our camp? Yeah, we ended up. So we just recently elevated Virgil from the practice squad. He's been elevated before, and largely when we had injuries, and he's basically our motion distraction. Like, dude has had like 10 snaps on this team so far this year, and all he has been doing was just put in motion. That's basically all we're talking about. We have Green Truth Dave. Amari is soft and will never be healthy. He's so dude's actually stayed healthy the vast majority of his career. This is just bad luck. And so to be completely honest with you, bad luck to be completely honest with you. He will be fine. We'll be good. Go Bills, the Buffalo train. What do we do? We have it's the wrist now, then it will be the hammy, then the foot, and so on and so on. He's actually stayed healthy a lot during his career. Like, he misses like 2 or 3 games a season, but I mean, for the most part, he's a pretty healthy wide receiver. Mako just simply not resign him after the season is over. Is this Virgil any good? He's a practice squad guy for a reason, man. He's going to be like a distraction out there. He's going to be put in motion quite a bit, but we're going to have to see. We have Edgar in here. I think Edgar is hammered. I have not been able to decipher anything that he has said in the chat thus far. I love it, though. All right, but dude, it's Friday. I hope you're at happy hour getting absolutely smashed, my guy. Have a good day. Go Bills. You're the man. Love you. No, he has not. Marco is coming in saying Bills can't drop that one, guys. Like and subscribe. 30,201 subs. Let's go. That is beautiful, folks. That is absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane up in here, baby. Let's make it happen. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We want 50,000 subscribers before the end of the regular season. I know that that's a lofty goal, but I'm going to bribe each and every single one of you with all this signed memorabilia. So I think that we can do it. And I hope that once you come over, that you just fall in love with the content in the first place and you stay a while. Okay. I love that. I love each and every single one of you for that. Chris, I wish we should have kept Andy Isabella to our roster. I mean, listen, it was like hyper competitive, like this training camp. Like, we had like a bunch of guys that were like above average good. So it was certainly tough. I have no idea where he is nowadays. Where is Andy Isabella? Did somebody pick him up? Let me see. Let me see if this dude is he's a free agent. He's currently a free agent where it speaks right now. We have Alex Smith. Did you watch the Ravens-Bengals game? Wow. How can our Buffalo Bills hang with teams like that? So I'll tell you what. What really pisses me off about the Ravens game, and what really pisses me off about the loss against the Baltimore Ravens, wasn't that they scored a lot of points on us, right? Because this team's doing it to everybody. Like, this team is scoring 30 to 40 points on each and every single team that they play. But do y'all really want to know what pisses me off about that game? Where it stands, the Buffalo Bills, all right? No, excuse me. The Baltimore Ravens have the statistical worst secondary in the NFL. They have the worst secondary in the NFL, folks. They are 32nd ranked in the league. They are a bad secondary. And you're going to sit there and tell me. You're going to sit there and tell me that the Buffalo Bills could only score 10 points against them? That's the frustrating part about it. That's the frustrating part about it. I'm not mad that they scored that many points against us, because they do it to everybody. But the fact that we were only able to score 10 points against the worst secondary in all of football, very frustrating. And I can't wait to play them again. Really. 32nd. I swear to God. I swear to God. They are the 32nd ranked pass defense in the NFL. Yeah. And we only scored 10 points. And we ended up putting up 30 right now on the Jets, who, by the way, have the 3rd ranked secondary in the NFL, which makes it even more frustrating. 32 for 32. Yes. Statistically, the Ravens have the worst secondary in the NFL. And for some reason, we couldn't do a damn thing. So let's hope that we can go shot for shot for them. right in the playoffs because there's certainly opportunities. Hopefully Joe Brady's back at the drawing board. Hopefully Joe Brady just ended up getting absolutely hammered that night right before he ended up going. Is what it is. Snook is a new YouTube member. What's up, brother? Thank you, man. Appreciate that, dude. We didn't have Shakir in that game, right? He was, but he was playing injured. He ended up getting hurt, I want to say, like midway through, but he still ended up playing with a shoddy ankle after the case, which was certainly frustrating. The Ravens defense is terrible, and the Bills are better than the Ravens. You put up 23, but who is counting? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's because we had no field stretchers or route runners. Still, though. Still, man. Okay. I think we can sweep this division. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan, what's the news on Zion Laug? He was released yesterday. And then at one point, we had 52 men on the roster, but we recently just elevated Jalen Virgil. He is a wide receiver who is a practice squad guy for a reason. Maybe he gets a single target on Sunday, if that. And that's even being generous. I feel like some teams just play better against certain teams, and everyone turns on the Jets against the Buffalo Bills. We have Josh. Yeah, man. Shakir is the glue. We need to keep him healthy. Dwight is saying Zion is back on the practice squad. Love to see it. Their secondary only decided to be good against us, which makes it wildly frustrating. I need Shakir to go bananas this week. All right, man. We have some fantasy footballers over here, man. I could definitely appreciate that. Well, listen, guys, let me tell you something, okay? Because I know that there's a lot of sports bettors in this chat right now, or fantasy guys, etc. Let me tell you one of my personal favorite tools for all your sports betting needs. It happens to be Rhythm. Folks, Rhythm is the ultimate artificial intelligent assistant that literally hand picks games and spreads that are favorable for you to win. I have been using this all season long, and I have been absolutely caking on all of the sports books that I end up utilizing, because rather than me betting with my heart, rather than me betting with my mind, I use Rhythm, and it points out the best possible opportunities, right? Like, for example, oh, look at that. Have to take the Broncos plus 135 for that money line. They break down advanced data that a lot of us really don't have time to look at. And I'll say my win rate has gone up tremendously. And they also have hand me picks. I did see somebody saying that they want Josh Allen to throw for over 2 touchdowns because they're going to win $400 on their parlay. They give you hand-picked player props to go with each and every single week. Here's the beauty about it is that they are giving you a 7-day free trial. All right? A 7-day free trial is right in front of you, folks. Absolutely right in front of you. So go on ahead. Definitely check out Rhythm. It's no risk. Just go ahead and try it out for this week's games on Sunday and see what Rhythm has to say, and get back to me and let me know if you think after the 7-day free trial that it is worth the investment in the first place. Shout out to Rhythm for being a proud sponsor of this channel all damn year. Dan, have to go. Have a great show. Hit that like button and subscribe. Dwayne, have a wonderful day, man. Have a wonderful day, my friend. Gotta head off to work, Dan. Thanks for the morning stream, and have a blessed day. Good morning to my good friend over in Japan. Have a solid one, my friend, and go Bills. Go Bills, my friend. That's what I'm talking about. EJ, I have Burrow and Chase in fantasy, so you probably cleaned house. Always a beautiful thing. I just got here. Who's out for the Buffalo Bills? Joseph, what is going on, man? So far, so the only for sure that is going to be out is Keon Coleman with that wrist injury. And then Amari Cooper, he is questionable with a wrist injury. We have Reggie Gilliam is questionable with a hip injury. And then Balin Spector is questionable. So really only Keon Coleman and perhaps Amari Cooper, which is less than ideal. Go Bills. Tyler H. Have the Bills ever had a quarterback throw for 4 touchdowns and rush for at least 2? I feel like Josh Allen's done it. What would you do differently if you were a head coach for the Buffalo Bills? Chris is coming on in. What would I do differently with this Buffalo Bills team, man? What would I do differently if I was... All right, so it's tough to really critique anything defensively because I honestly think Sean McDermott is one of the most intelligent defensive-minded head coaches in the NFL. All right. Now, as far as clock management, game management, etc., that's an entire different story. I think I would be a bit more ballsy when it comes into trying to address stopping the run. experimenting with different coverages quite a bit. Like, say, for example, that like we have some sort of injury sort of on the DB side of things. I would love to run a lot more dime package. Say, for example, we're going up against like a running back like Derrick Henry, a running back like Jonathan Taylor, or maybe the running back tandem that we saw over in Miami by itself. I probably wouldn't be as trusting, like as into I am going to allow this team to run on us with ease so that they can kill their clock opportunities themselves. He's ballsy. I'd probably dial it back a little bit, be a bit more conservative, go out there and actually attempt to make a stop earlier. Because what Sean McDermott's been doing all season is that, especially for the first half, he is allowing these opposing offenses to show their hand, right? And he's half-assing 9 times out of 10 that first quarter, maybe sometimes even into the first half. He's hoping that the offense can keep up as far as a shootout, right? I'd probably dial it back a little bit as far as being aggressive and putting too much trust right in the offense for getting things done. But, I mean, really, dude, right now, I love how this team has been being operated from the coaching staff this year. I had a lot of complaints when Dorsey was here. I had a lot of complaints, several complaints. So when, of course, we had with Dable, had that a lot. But I can't complain about Joe Brady. Like, dude's going out there and he's putting out an offensive masterpiece. And I can't even be upset about it. But all right, folks, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. I'm going to get going. I'm going to grab myself a bite to eat and enjoy my weekend. I may be live tomorrow. Normally I do take off on Saturdays, but I may be off tomorrow. Or so I may be on for a stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We want 50,000 subscribers by the end of the regular season. I genuinely think that we can do so. If you do subscribe, you will be eligible to win the signed James Cook jersey, which is hanging right behind me. So certainly go on ahead and check that out, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Certainly love you guys. What does my homie say right here? Make up more pre-recorded videos and less just posting your streams. So I'll tell you what, I actually prefer streaming because I get to talk to you guys, right? I will bring back some pre-recorded videos, but at the end of the day, it's a hell of a lot better for me to get out there and just yap about what I see from the Buffalo Bills almost instantaneously. And I also have the opportunity of talking to you guys. I will be bringing back these pre-recorded videos, but I'll be completely honest with you. It's probably going to be more toward the off season. So when I'm doing like some prospecting videos for the drafts or when I'm doing stuff like that, man, listen, it's so much easier for me to hop on here and just talk to my people. In fact, so I'm actually curious, guys, what do you prefer? My streams or pre-recorded videos? Super curious to hear what you have to say. What do y'all prefer? Pre-recordeds or the streams? What do you have here? We have W Sigma L Skibidi in the chat. What is going on? I'm just kidding. So I wasn't in here. Please fill me in. We just are missing out on Keon Coleman for the game, and we elevated Jalen Virgil. He probably won't end up getting a lot of snaps, and it's going to be a good thing. We have streams for sure. Streams by a mile. All right. Well, listen. So really at the end of the day, guys, I will be bringing back a lot of the pre-recorded videos, but more so toward the off season for more prospecting things. And I prefer streams over live game coverage. But don't worry, listen, I know that there are a select few of you that do prefer the pre-recordeds. Those are going to come back. I'm going to be giving you as much as I possibly can. I love you guys, but it's just a lot easier when I stream. It's a hell of a lot easier for me to actually get on as fast as humanly possible and talk ball with my boys here and there. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Love each and every single one of you. And I will see you maybe tomorrow. If not, I will see you during my live game reaction against the Indianapolis Colts. Cannot wait to see you there. Peace.